we're getting a mad fruity position. We're getting like this is mad gay. Wow. We were in this position because I ate too much food and I don't want to sit. I just want to lay. Basically, I ate Taco Bell and ice cream, and that's not going well because it was ice cream and I'm lactose intolerant, so this shit is causing me pain and I feel like I'm dying. Yeah, I have nothing to report because I did nothing today, other than literally nothing. Like, yeah. Yeah. Finished one of my books, started a new one. Watched some Clone Wars, watched some YouTube, caught up on some YouTube stuff that I hadn't watched. Yeah, I just ate. So it's still kind of digesting. That's the issue here. We're gonna watch Clone Wars after this. I'm filming this way later than I normally do because I was finishing The Penguin. I finished it. I'm very unhappy. If you haven't seen The Penguin, go see The Penguin. It's 8 episodes, like 8 hours. Because I'm about to talk about it, and if you want to not be spoiled, then go do something else with your life, watch it, and finish this. This is fucking ridiculous, bro. I wanted Sophia Falcone to end this motherfucker so bad. I wanted her to fucking kill this dude. I've watched enough fiction, and I've read enough. I've consumed enough media of villains and bad guys and bad people in general to know, like, horrible people. And I genuinely believe, like, in my heart, I 100% believe that Oswald Cobb in this show is the worst being in existence. Like, hands down. Hands down. If I'm not gonna talk like too much because it's hard to explain, I'd recommend to everybody to watch this show. This motherfucker is an absolute like demon, dude. Like, he's not even the devil, he's worse. Like, this is outrageous. I'm a Batman fan. Like, I enjoy Batman, but I've never necessarily been like deep in his villains. Like, I like all of his villain catalog because it's the best ever. Right? Like, he 100% has the greatest villains of any character ever. And like, the Penguin is such like a not low tier villain of his, but when you think of Batman villains, you think of like Mr. Freeze and the Riddler and the Joker and Bane. You don't really think of Penguin that much. But bro, he might be worse than the Joker. Like, this dude's fucking insane, bro. This shit's insane what I just watched. I just watched the most fucked up shit ever. He's gotta go, bro. In Batman Part 2, he's gotta go. Robert Pattinson has to slime his shit out, bro. There's no way he survives, bro. No fucking way I'm letting that shit slide, bro. He has to go. He has to be no longer with us. Please, bro, I'm begging. Who's writing the movie? Matt Reeves? Matt Reeves, please, bro. Slime him out. Bad. This is not okay. Uh-oh. Okay. Yeah, Matt Reeves, please, bro, do not let this motherfucker live any longer. Bottom tier human being. Next thing I think I need to talk about is Cape Fear. I recommended this show like 2 weeks ago, or not 2 weeks ago. Yeah, probably 2 weeks ago, actually. I still highly recommend it. It's based off a movie. If you have Apple TV, It's kind of interesting because Apple TV's like, in my opinion, the best Apple TV show might be some of the greatest television ever produced. Like their budget, the people they get for the show, like the actors and actresses, the writing, the directing, the way it looks, the way it feels, like the way they set the like world up, the world building is like completely insane. Their biggest issue is like they never release seasons. Like you get a season 1 and then like 14, 15 years later you get season 2. And you know, if Lucas Hughes is watching this, he knows because we're Severance believers here. And we never even see that show anymore, bro. We just get like a teaser every like decade and then a new season every 3 fucking millennias. It's absolutely diabolical what they do with that shit. And Pluribus also is that issue. Now, Pluribus came out, I believe, 2 years ago now, maybe 1. But they haven't even wrote the script for the second season. It's not over. It's not even the second. Like, what? What do you mean? Like, what is Vince Gilligan doing? Breaking Bad is not still happening, bro. Like, chop, chop. But Cape Fear, it's super, super good. Like, and I think the best thing about it is the fact that, like, a good villain really never does his own dirty work, but is always the most terrifying person. And it's kind of like the Joker, where it's like, but actually that's kind of a bad example. I'm trying to think of like maybe the best example of someone, but basically like a best villain and like a best like antagonist is someone who like they don't even have to do anything because they have people that will do it for them, but they are still the scariest person. In Cape Fear, Max Cady is 100% the most terrifying person probably in that entire world, in that like universe, right? But he don't even do nothing. Like, he deadass, I don't think he killed his wife. Like, the only crimes he committed is in prison. Like, other than that, like, he's, like, manipulative. But other than, like, the killing people he did in prison, spoilers. Other than the killing the people in prison, bro just has goons. But he's still horrifying. And, like, in The Penguin, for example, like, Oz isn't scary. That's the weirdest thing. He's not scary. He's ugly. But if you saw him on the street, like, compared to, like, Joker or Bane or Mr. Freeze, you're like, fuck is the weakest dumbass motherfucker. But he doesn't give a fuck. Like, Oz does not care about anyone but himself. And most villains are like that. But Oz takes it to an extent that most villains don't. Because literally nothing is relevant to him. Sorry. I need water. I just threw it in my mouth. Straight nacho fries, bro. No one in that show, in The Penguin, is more scared of Cobb than they are of Sophia. But Cobb comes out on top because he doesn't give a fuck about nothing ever to do with anything. And like, I'm addicted to Peak. Like, the media I consume, whether it's TV shows, movies, I don't watch anything but Peak. And as like time goes on, I consume more and more media. I realize like I am a part of like the luckiest generation ever. Because this shit that is coming out is so incredible. And like, there's so much that it's almost impossible to consume it all. It is impossible to consume it all, obviously, but like, even like, for example, like the big shows, like I would say, like, for me personally, the big three of like television is like Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, Breaking Bad. Right? All completely different shows, but they're like all absolutely peak for the most part. And like Sopranos as well, like The Wire, stuff like that. But like, even like Marvel and DC stuff, like one of my favorite things to watch on YouTube right now is Escape Pod. And like, if I could go and like on a podcast, that's the number one, because I have so much ball knowledge on the topics they speak about. A nerd, because I'm a nerd. And when I consume media, like even like the Clone Wars, I realize how lucky I actually am. Because, bro, if I was born 40 years ago, bro, none of this exists, bro. Like, I would be watching black and white Scooby-Doo cartoons, bro. But instead, I'm watching 4K HD of some of the greatest acting I've ever seen in some of the greatest world building ever. And like, you know, like when I have like bad days, I just like realize like how blessed I actually am. Like, not only to like come to Thailand and train MMA and like have the opportunity to stay here and train and do all this, obviously, but just the blessing of like what I am able to watch. And sometimes you look at like some Marvel and stuff, like recent Marvel, and you're like, this shit's terrible. And it is. But you look at some like Marvel, like Winter Soldier, like Civil War, Infinity War, and you're like, bro, these are some of the greatest pieces of media like ever. Like watching Endgame for the first time and like Cap gets Mjolnir, like Thor's hammer, like, bro, that shit's like what a crazy world we live in. I know I'm just ranting about stupid shit, but it's really just crazy to think about like how lucky we are to see what we get to see. And like, it's just so cool to see this shit, because so like without this, like I would be so much less happy. Like so much of my joy comes from consuming media. And like, even if the media like ends out not in the greatest way, for example, like The Boys, I personally wanted Homelander to win, and I am in the few of people that wish that. And the only reason I wish that is because I do technically believe that he was so much stronger than everybody else in that entire show that there was no possible way to beat him. Now, obviously, there was a way to beat him, because they did. But in my heart, I believe that obviously it's bullshit, and that there was no physical way to beat him. In the comics, the only way they beat him is with a clone that is exactly him, manufactured by the company that made him. They made a clone of him to kill him whenever he lost control. That's the only way that you can beat someone like that, because he's that much better than everybody else. It's like if Superman went on timing and like stopped being a good guy, everyone's fucked. But even when like shows don't end in the best way, or the way that I want it, I'm still like lucky to be able to have that. Like, even though some of The Boys is dog shit, I'm so blessed that I even got the opportunity to be alive when it was happening. And it just brings me so much joy. And like when I watch good shows like Penguin and like Cape Fear, it just makes me realize like how lucky I am that like I can sit down and my foot's fucked up and I can't go train, I can't do anything, but I can sit down and I can watch just good media and enjoy my day when I should be able training, when I should be able to go do stuff, when I should be able to have fun. I can still lay in bed and watch good shit. And that brings me so much joy. And I just want everyone like to know like go watch good media and it'll bring you so much joy. Like maybe that's not for everybody. Maybe people prefer going outside, going for hikes, whatever. But like if there's something that brings you joy, do it as much as you can, especially when days aren't going the best. Like try and go do what brings you joy, because I'm telling you, like that's not how I wanted that show to end, but I am so happy I took the time to watch that, and I'm so happy that it got made. So that was my rant about absolutely nothing. I don't know what I was ranting about, but I felt like ranting. I'm probably gonna be dying tonight. My stomach is in hell, so pray for a brother. Hope you guys had a good Friday. Hope you guys have a good Saturday. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, whatever. We got UFC on at 7 a.m. for me, 5 p.m. for you guys. Let's go here, Gucci. I have a bet on it for like $40, but other than that, love you guys. Peace out.